You can still travel while on dialysis. Today in this video we're going to talk about how. If this is your first time here, my name is Andrea and welcome to Andrea's Kidney Transplant Life. A first time traveling while on dialysis, here are a few tips on how I did it. The first thing I did was I consulted my doctor. Why? Because you want to make sure that you're in the best physical health that you can be to be able to travel. And talking with your doctor regarding your numbers and all the things that could possibly happen while you're traveling is one of the great ways to start your planning process. The next thing I did once I got my doctor's approval to travel was to find a dialysis center that was close to the location I was visiting. And that was pretty easy to do. There are a number of dialysis centers across the country, and that is a wonderful thing to know. You can always look for the zip code and find a center that is willing to take a patient on the days that you're traveling. The next thing I did when I found the center was to contact my social worker. And your social worker is a very important part of your process. He or she is the person that will get a file together for you with your medical information and the contact information for your doctors. Once you have that file put together, she will send it to the location that you are going to be attending so that they'll find out whether or not they'll have a chair for you and if they have the resources to help you dialyze while you're away. The next thing I did was I started packing. That's the fun part. Remember to always pack your medications. Remember to pack a list of your contact people, your doctor, your social worker, and of course your family members who will want to know that you're safe and happy when you're traveling. The next thing you do is you want to make sure that you have at least twice the number of medications for the time that you're staying. For example, if your trip is a week, make sure that you have at least 2 weeks of medications on hand. Just in case you're stuck somewhere in an airport or that you're having such a great time that you want to stick around longer, then you'll also have medications for those extended days. Also, remember to take a notebook with you so that if you're having any particular medical emergencies or if you have particular medical feelings that you have, like your blood pressure might be high or your glucose numbers are running high as well, and anything that could be awry when you're traveling that doesn't need a doctor's attention, you want to make a note of it so that when you return, you can let your medical team know what happened to you while you were away, and so that they'll give you examples or ideas on how to deal with those stressors for your next trip. And also, remember to either rent a vehicle or make arrangements for transportation once you get to your dialysis center. For some people, they don't drive anymore when they're on dialysis, so it would be really important to contact the center to see if they have the transportation service or to contact the city, because sometimes the cities will have buses that they let the hospitals team up with and carry the patients to and from their location. If you are a driver, I was a driver, so I could drive myself to and from the location. I would rent a car in advance so that I can pick it up at the airport and drive my way to my location and to my dialysis center. These are really important things that you want to think about, and just if I can't stress it anymore is to make sure that you have your medications, you have a list of your medications, and that you have a list of all the people that will need to be contacted if you ever have a medical emergency, and that is so crucial. When you're traveling, there are a number of things that you can do when you're on dialysis on your chair time. So some of the things I do is I journal, and I talk about journaling a lot because dialysis and the entire kidney failure process is an experience in life. And there are times when you just want to make a note of your experiences, and having a notebook or a diary or journal is a great way of looking back at how far you've come. Another thing that I like to do is I like to read magazines. I like to read about cooking. I love the Food Network. I have looked into quilting myself. And of course, eating well is very important. So I would get ideas about healthy recipes from these magazines that I have here. And also, you don't have to just sit and watch the television, because most dialysis centers will have your personal TV, which is nice, but there are also other things that you can do to fill your time. And so journaling, looking at healthy recipes, and picking up new hobbies like quilting or gardening, and just reading other people's journeys on dialysis and things like that. So, and you could also think about ways in which to tell your story once this journey is over. We tend to look at seasons in our lives, and I looked at my journey through dialysis as a season in my life. And I have notes and I have journals that I can look back on bad days and wonderful days. And so I really take my journaling very seriously. And also, I still have recipes that I eat even after I have my transplant, because it's always perfect. Really good idea for you to continue eating well even after you've had your transplant, because we want to keep that kidney. So I just hope that this inspires you to pick up a hobby or to think of things that you can do while you're sitting in the chair, and just really wonderful things. By the way, guys, I am not a medical doctor. This is entirely my experience, and I'm just sharing it with you so that if it can help you, inspire you, and keep your journey going, I am so happy. To hear more about my journey, I would love if you could subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell twice so you don't miss any of my adventures and experiences while on dialysis and even after I've had my transplant.